What is going on YouTube and Spotify? This is the Just BSN podcast. And my gosh, we got some actual good stuff to discuss today and this week because on Sunday, wrist up, Shedeur Sanders pulled it out. Now, he didn't do it alone. The defense absolutely went nuclear, and we will talk about that here in a minute. But at the end of the day, Shedeur Sanders actually pulled up. He played a good game, not an amazing game, but played a good game and got a win. The first rookie to win his first start since the team came back. And probably even before that. It probably goes a lot further back. That's how bad down the Browns have been with quarterbacks. We all know that. We don't have to keep reminding ourselves, but it is a fact, and Shedeur was able to overcome that at the very least. So, my man, after what we saw on Sunday evening, how are we feeling about this Browns team? Because I tell you what, we can still lose like a majority of these games this year, but as long as he keeps looking the way that he did and not necessarily losing us games, I think we got a quarterback in 2026 at the very, very least.
Yeah, I mean, he played great. Like, I wouldn't say super great, but like he did the job. He did what you had to do, and he showed you a couple plays that were like, God, why didn't he start over Gabriel like for the last few weeks? Because that pass to Isaiah Bond just solidified it for me. And that was in the first quarter, and we all saw Myles Garrett's reaction to it and what he had to say about it after the game. And it just shows you that this is what the guys wanted. This is what the team wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those guys weren't going to rally around that 5'2" quarterback that they had back there. They're wanting Shedeur Sanders because he is confident and the kid has an arm, man. Like, I keep having that Bond play right in my head. It keeps replaying in my mind, and it's a beautiful sight to see. And this is what we've been wanting all season. I mean, in his first 7, 8 plays, one deep ball for 50 plus yards, and it took Gabriel 6 games to throw one pass for 20 yards. Like, are you joking? And it took Gabriel multiple games against the Steelers to finally throw for over 200 yards. It took Sanders one game to throw for over 200 yards. Had 2 deep balls. Screw you, Jerry Jeudy, for sitting there lazing, running down the field and getting the ball punched out. But other than that, man, Shedeur showed up, he showed out, and he deserves to start on Sunday, which he was rightfully given by Kevin Stefanski, because Kevin's like, listen, can't deny it, man. The kid played good, and I'd rather have this than whatever we had back a few games ago, because
Yeah.
I'm tired of this.
Yeah, and I mean, you do. I don't know. I am a little curious to see if the powers that be above him also kind of pushed him a little bit to be like, listen, he got to win. You got to at least give him another game.
Yeah, you have
because
to.
because we've been hearing all last week that the OG plan and the reason why Shedeur was never really going to get a chance this year up until this point was because they really wanted to redshirt him.
Mm-hmm.
And from what we've been hearing a lot of, like, it actually sounds like Stefanski has worked a ton with him behind the scenes, and Shedeur is always in, meetings and always glued to his notepad. So, like, it's not like the kid isn't working. Everybody around the building adores him. And as I said last week, I had this weird feeling of like, dude, I just feel like the guys just they just naturally sort of rally around him a little more, a little bit more than we would have gotten, with Dylan. And I'm not saying that the guys didn't necessarily believe in Dylan Gabriel. I just think Shedeur brings this unique vibe and this unique confidence that it's the type of thing that you need in a starting quarterback. Like it is a quality. Now, we've all made peace with the fact that he's raw and that he still needs help. But like, also, this is the way you're gonna learn. Like, let him get real time experience. Let him get used to the NFL game speed. And he even said it. Like, it's a different game when you finally understand and like can really get down, the timing of the speed. And the only way you can do that is you get thrown in games the way he did against the Ravens. And it was a tough one to have on the chin, but you saw it. And so against the Raiders, he really just proved that he's been watching film, he's been taking criticism well, and he's actually trying to put it together, because he wasn't backpedaling all game long, like he's playing Madden. He didn't take a bunch of unnecessary sacks. He took one sack, which was really him scrambling and just couldn't get around behind the line because he kind of delayed himself into scrambling. I can see him getting a little bit better with just reading that and being able to scramble for 5 yards and trying to live to see another down. But his only flaw right now is that he does look for the home run first and then sort of checks down, where it almost seemed like Dylan was the complete opposite. Like he would look for the check down first and then look for the deep shot later. And there's this weird sort of middle ground that you got to have, to where you do look for it, but then you also see, hey, if I don't see it within the first 2.5 seconds, you got to find a way to dump it off, and you got to find a way to dump it off quickly. So that's only, I think, going to get better with time. But I just thought it was a good game for him to finally get out there. It was a good team to go up against because, let's face it, the Raiders are not that great. And listen, he did what he was supposed to do. He made good throws. He made some bad throws. He had a couple throwaways that were, you saw on film where he was like, oh man, if he would have waited just a half a second more, he would have been able to get Jerry Jeudy here or, get Tillman here. But it's there. Like you can see that he is going through his progressions and his reads, and he is always looking downfield. Even when he's scrambling out of the pocket, he's always looking for a shot downfield. And even to throw to Jerry Jeudy that he ultimately fumbled away because he's a moron. It was a great throw again where he was, scrambling out of the pocket, set his feet, which he didn't do in the first half. But he set his feet, made a great throw. And he just looked like he was a lot more, confident, a lot more poised. And I was just happy to see that at the very least, because you didn't need or want him to go super ball out, because the defense went absolutely insane. But Shedeur passed the first test, I think, and now this is the next phase. Like this is the next game to go to, and that's San Fran. And obviously they have a crap ton of injuries, but they're still pretty solid up front, and they're still pretty solid just as a team overall. They're very good at rallying around each other, and they're getting tough wins. I mean, they squeaked by Carolina yesterday after Brock Purdy had a really, really, really bad first half. They were able to somehow stay in it, but they're not playing great on offense, and they're not necessarily playing the best on defense. But if the Browns can get another episode out of this defense like they did this week, the Browns have a real chance of actually beating San Fran again at home, just like they did in 2023. So I expect this Browns team to come in fired up. I expect them to come in looking to actually win the game. And I honestly wouldn't put it past them if they end up doing it. And I'll tell you what, if they win this game, I mean, the Shedeur hype goes absolutely insane, and fans of his and people that aren't fans of him are going to lose their minds in different ways, because the radio shows are going to go insane like they have been all week long. But it's just nice as Browns fans to hear some positivity, a little bit of just better vibes of being like, hey, there's some hope. Like there's some hope in a kid that we drafted in the 5th round that was a projected first round pick. This guy at one point was projected to go as the top pick in the draft, where Cam Ward is. And him and Cam Ward had the same amount of wins. Yeah. So, I mean, that's all I'm going to say there. But again, he had plenty of help. The defense had 10 sacks. Miles had 3 more, which now he breaks his old Browns team record. And he is on pace to slaughter the NFL record of, I think it's 22 and a half sacks for a season. And he still has a couple more games to do it. I think he can do it as long as he can get through, nice and healthy. But at this rate, man, he should do it by week 14 or 15 at this rate because he's getting 4 or 5 sacks each game.
Yeah.
This is a generational run that Miles has been on for the last 5 games alone. He has more sacks in a 5-game stretch than Brian Burns, who is the next guy behind him as the sack leader this year. That's how crazy he's been playing.
Yeah, I mean, Miles has been absolutely outrageous. Like 18 sacks on the season, and we're 12 weeks in, is insane. And like you said, he's catching up to that sacks record, and there's a high chance he could hit that. And this is the most dominant Miles has been in all like ever. And it's one of those things where he's almost like LeBron. It seems like each and every year he just gets better and better, and shows no signs of like slowing down. Whereas TJ Watt was just really slowed down. Like TJ Watt barely has like 5-6 sacks this year, and he barely hit a good mark last year. So TJ Watt slowed down a lot. Meanwhile, Miles just continues just to be dominant for some reason. And going back to Shedeur, like you said, man, it's everything about what just happened on Sunday is just all positive. Because if he can go out there and win on Sunday, I mean, like it's almost like the city's gonna be on fire for just like what do we talk about? Like is Shedeur fans are gonna be like, we told you so, and then there's gonna be non-Shedeur fans who are gonna be like, shit, man, like I kind of gotta hop on the train now because the kid's actually kind of balling a little bit, and I kind of gotta get in with the program because I mean we're winning football games now because Dylan wasn't cutting it. It's just one of those things that if it goes well on Sunday, man, I've already seen on Twitter like people are like, if Shedeur wins Sunday, I'm buying his jersey. Like
I literally just scrolled on Twitter and John
Hillberry, yeah.
I just saw his tweet. It says if Shedeur beats 49ers on Sunday, I will buy his jersey.
What perfect timing.
Perfect time.
Perfect time. Wrist up, baby. Perfect timing.
Yo, for real though, his song is actually kind of fire. I can't lie.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Like and honestly, I'm almost on that train too. If like Shedeur wins on Sunday, I might buy the jersey.
Listen, it's good when even Sean is like, okay, I'll let it play out because Sean has been very against starting Shedeur. He's had the whole gut punch, but if Shedeur can get a string of games, like especially in the easiest part of this schedule, this is where you're gonna get a rest of the chunk of your games won. And by the way, for how bad the Browns have been, they're only like 3 or 3.5 games back out of the AFC North because everybody sucks. Now, the Ravens will probably win the AFC North because I think the Steelers are going to bottle it, just like they always do. Yep. But I'm telling you, man, if the Browns can somehow squeak into a wild card after how shitty of a year that everybody has been, I wouldn't. It would be the funniest comeback ever. Now, it would screw with our draft picks, but at this point, hey, you found something, and those draft picks are still first-round picks. You can use them both to get back up in the draft if you really, really want, or you can just stay there and just get some other quality guys like the Schwessingers that you got last season that have produced immensely this year. That's where you could find some really good guys, some really good pieces, and really help your team actually build another winning culture. Because the Rooks, man, I mean, other than Gabriel, I think he's unfortunately the worst one out of the group for us. Like everybody else has produced tremendously.
And I think Bond's going to continue to get better as Shedeur plays more because
he's undrafted.
yeah, and he's undrafted. But the fact is like he's a deep ball threat, and when you have a
Yeah.
guy who can't throw the deep ball, he's kind of useless.
Yeah, he is.
It's like having Goodwin. Well, we had Goodwin here. It's like he was
Yeah.
good because Joe Flacco could throw the deep ball, and that's what Marquise Goodwin. That's what he was. He was a track star. Like that dude outran everybody. He needed the guy who could throw the deep, and that's the same thing with Isaiah Bond. He needs a guy who could throw it deep because that he's a big play machine. And when you have Gabriel who throws 2-yard dump screens, which by the way, when Dylan Sampson scored off the screen pass for 60 yards, it pissed me off that Dylan Gabriel cannot get Corley the same treatment. Like you're telling me you overthrow a simple screen pass. And one guy, I saw it on Twitter, one guy like made the excuse of like, well, he rolled out and he's left-handed. When he rolled out to his left and tried to turn around and throw left-handed, and I was like, it's like not even a 4-yard screen pass. Even when he rolled out, like it's directly straight forward. And Shedeur is just like, turn. Okay, easy enough. Yeah. And it would have been the same result if Gabriel would have hit Corley. It would have been a 60-yard plus touchdown. But the difference is the QB. Because guess what? Gabriel has been known all season to spike 4-yard dump offs and spike them 2 feet to the ground.
And he can't throw on the run. Like he can't throw a deep ball without it looking like a blimp stuck in the air. Like Shedeur's passing, it looks so smooth, does it not? Like his whole thing, it just looks smooth. I love it. He looks like a quarterback.
He looks like a quarterback.
This is what a quarterback should look like. Dylan Gabriel looks like a former baseball player that's playing quarterback.
Yeah, and the thing that I will say too is Shedeur took 1 sack, and that's we got to look at this. Shedeur took 1 sack, and that was and like you said, he went through all of his reads, and then he left the pocket, and of course, offensive line got broken up, and he did get chased down for a sack. But the thing that I want to say is he didn't take any unnecessary sacks. And that was his big thing coming out of college was the kid takes unnecessary sacks. This game, and I'm sure Kevin probably beat it into his brain all week long, stay in the pocket and quick throws, quick release.
Yeah.
Dude, because the problem is, and the thing that Shedeur had issues with was as soon as he had to snap, he just rolled out of the pocket and just left the pocket too early. And it led to unnecessary sacks. And I'm sure Kevin said, listen, there's so many times where you had plenty of time where you just rolled out of the pocket and then you just took an unnecessary sack. Like, the offensive line held up. All you had to do is sit in the pocket and just make a throw. Yeah. And during this Raiders game, you saw that. He stepped into the pocket, looked comfortable, and made throws. Again, the biggest one was to Jerry Jeudy where the pocket held up. He stayed in it. And he just made a nice, comfortable, and like you said, almost looked effortless. To throw just a nice, easy ball to Jerry Jeudy. And Jeudy kind of screwed him because he was lazy with the ball and got it punched out. Yeah. But look, Shedeur just made the game look a little effortless. Didn't take any unnecessary. And I will say the pick really wasn't his fault. I would say that's more great play on the defender because that edge rusher was so smart to sit to not just pressure, but to drop back into coverage. Yeah. And read the play. And that's not on Shedeur. That's just great defensive awareness by that edge rusher to do that. Like, that's insanely good awareness to just be like, oh, he's going to go right here. So instead of going, I'm just going to drop back into coverage and pick this kid off. And, like, if you saw the replay from behind Shedeur, if that edge rusher just came at Shedeur instead of dropping back, he was going to fit that ball into that window, and that was going to be caught.
All right.
So that's just defensive awareness by the defender. So I can't put that interception on him. But those are things that Shedeur's got to look out for because you didn't see that a lot in Colorado or much at all in Colorado or in college. So those are things that makes NFL defenders a lot better than college defenders, is that they can read you before the snap even begins.
Right.
So, and I read it. I said to my friend the other day, like, that's one thing when you do play the Steelers, he's got to watch out for with TJ Watt, because that's the one thing TJ Watt is so good at, is dropping back into coverage unexpectedly.
Right.
So if Shedeur can read defenses and start play calling at the line of scrimmage, like, oh, I don't like to look at this edge rusher, we're going to kill this play real quick and we're going to go with this. That kid's going to ball, man. That kid's going to be so good. But
Oh, yeah.
it's small progressions, and that's what the season is for him. It's just small progressions. He'll get there eventually next season. But I'm not, if he throws a pick like that every game, I'm not going to be mad, because that's just good defense. So I know people were upset by that pick, but even Chase Daniel mentioned that too. I know a couple other former quarterbacks who do these YouTube shows now. They all said the same thing, that was just a good defensive play. There's no way Shedeur knew that guy was going to drop back into coverage. So,
Right.
But other than that, he played good football. And that's all you could ask for from Sanders. From what you saw in the Ravens game to this, I guess the Raiders, played really good ball. And you have a chance to go out there on Sunday against the 49ers. And if you win, you're going to start for the rest of the season. Gabriel's pretty much done. And the team's going to build around you. And I would say Browns fans would have hope once again. Like, we'd be like, oh my God, we have a quarterback. Okay, no, unlike Baker, please do not get rid of this guy. Just keep him, build around him. And oh my God, we actually might have a future. And we may actually win something. So if he balls on Sunday, the future is definitely looking bright here in Cleveland. So I'm rooting for this kid. Like, I really am. I want him to succeed. And you can see he wants it. You can tell by his press conferences he wants it. I know people are saying he's cocky, but that's just confidence, in my opinion, because nobody was really upset when Baker did it. They also know was confident with Baker. I think there's just a narrative there. I think Shedeur is confident in himself, and I think what he's displaying was full-on confidence. And so that's what you want in a rookie, is a guy who's just out there and he's just ready to go. He's confident, and he's wanting to change the franchise around, because guess what? If Shedeur's the one to do it in Cleveland, he is a savior, and he's going to be right there with his dad in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's literally best case scenario. Like, if Shedeur pans out, it gives you an opportunity to go get more necessary needs that this team needs, like offensive tackle and receiver. And then you keep doubling up. And dude, I'm telling you, like, it would be best case scenario to not have to burn your first draft pick potentially on a quarterback. I mean, it would just be a best case scenario. You know, now, do the Browns still go that route? I mean, who knows? I mean, honestly, I really don't know. But even then, like, if you like Shedeur and then you still want to draft a guy like a Lenore Sellers, or even a Drew Aller, if he decides to come out, or a the hell is his name? Something back. The kid, the kid from Miami. Point is, the guys that are going to fall later on in the draft. If that's what you want to do again, then fine, I guess. But again, I think the quarterbacks are going to be much better in 2027 anyway. So if you're really just not wanting to deal with it, then give Shedeur a try for one whole season.
Yeah.
And then keep a veteran behind him. I would really like to see us move on from Deshaun. But it also seems like Deshaun does very well with the guys. Like, he was on the sidelines with Shedeur the whole time, like, with him every step of the way. And so it's like, okay, like, you haven't been a good player, but at least you seem to be being a good teammate. So you might have some value here still, although it's a very expensive backup for us to, obviously have to root for. But if that's the case too, like, I mean, knowing AB, what if he goes, nah, I want to see what Watson has first. I want to see if he still has anything left in the tank before we decide to move forward with Shedeur. Because if that's the case, I think fans are going to go absolutely insane in the wrong way because there's just a lot of fans that are done with them. So again, I think Shedeur doing well is the best case scenario because it puts us in the best position to draft as much talent as humanly possible, like you kind of did this last draft. But you have so many more needs, so be smart with it. And if you could be smart between the free agency, the trade market, and the draft, the Browns can literally rebuild this team back in one simple year, and it's like they would have never left. So they have opportunity in front of them. We'll see what they do. But I kind of want to move forward because I do want to talk a decent bit about Ohio State and obviously the big game. And obviously, over the past few seasons, we have not gotten the chance to beat that team up north, although we've always made almost a full entire episode on this game. It was really hard to keep Shedeur out of talks today, to be honest with you. If this was any other Browns year, I think we would have probably been only Ohio State today. But yeah, man, the big game is this Sunday afternoon, which is, I think, still the most annoying part about this game every year is that it's always a noon game. It's always a noon kickoff. But this is quite literally, this is the year. This is the year that you got to fucking do it. I'm sorry for the language, but this is the year you have to do it because I cannot take losing to this team, and I cannot stand hearing these dumb fans. Oh, well, last season's national championship didn't count because you couldn't beat us, and it's like, well, it did because it's still there, and we didn't have to cheat for ours. So here we are, man. OSU is a little banged up going into this game. Although I have full belief that it's going to be all hands on deck, that I guarantee there's no way Smith sits out this game. There's no way Tate sits out this game if he doesn't need to. Unless it's serious, then I could see them both playing. But at least Jeremiah Smith will probably play in this game. And I got to tell you, if just one of those guys play, this game goes a hell of a lot differently than it could. I do think that this game is going to start off slow, and it could be close through the first half. And then I think once the third quarter hits, Ohio State is going to find a little stride, like they have really all season long. They've had some really good third quarters and really stretched a team's just hope and dreams out of their games by the third quarter. And I just expect that to kind of be the same thing going on here because, dude, I'll tell you what, I've seen that team up north play a few games this year, and I've seen Bryce Underwood, and I'm just not really impressed with him. I'm not impressed with it, like with their defense either. It's nothing like we have really seen over the last few seasons. And I just think this Ohio State team should be able to handle them fairly well. What's your thoughts going into this game and just overall the mindset that you think Ohio State should have at this point after the last 4 seasons of losing to them? I think Ryan Day finally gets it after all of these years trying.
Yeah, I think they finally get it too. And I think once Ryan Day gets into that locker room before the game starts, it's going to be an aggressive Ryan Day. Like, he's going to be like, I'm not losing to this freaking team again. Like, we're going to go out there and we're going to demolish them on their home field. We're going to run up the score and we're going to embarrass the hell out of that team. Like, he's going to have that mentality of, I'm not losing to this team again. And he's going to let his players know. And I think Julian Saint is the man up for the task because that kid balls. And I was scrolling through just kind of like the preview on the Ohio State Michigan game. And I want to reiterate what you said about Bryce Underwood because I have not been impressed with this kid at all. He for Julian Saint has 2,800 passing yards compared to 2,100 for Bryce Underwood. A lot of that is due to the part that Ohio State's blown so many teams out of the water this year that Luke Keenholz has come in like the third quarter for Julian Saint. So obviously that number could have been a lot higher for Saint. But the numbers I want to get into are Julian Saint has 27 touchdowns and 4 picks on 80% completion percentage. 80% completion percentage, 27 touchdowns, 4 picks.
That's like Drew Brees level accuracy, by the way.
Bryce Underwood.
I see his right now. I have his up too.
9 touchdowns and 5 picks with a barely 60% completion percentage. Against an Ohio State defense this elite, you're only going to throw 9 touchdowns and 5 picks all year and only have barely a 60% completion percentage?
Yeah, I mean, I have to think that his rushing is a little bit more better, but it's honestly not that much more than I can see. I mean, I don't know. He just really doesn't impress me, man. There's not much to him.
Yeah, and they paid what, like $12 million for the kid too?
Yeah, I think it was 10 or 12 million for him. Dude, I'm telling you, I fully expect him to go to Miami in the next season or two. I can guarantee he'll go somewhere like that. Guaranteed.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Completion percentage for Bryce Underwood versus the AP top 25. You ready for this number?
Oh yeah, that one's pretty bad.
37.5%.
Yeah, he doesn't play good against
the top 25. I know his rushing yards aren't that great. I mean, he's averaging maybe 25 a game.
Yeah.
And I see a video onto the right-hand side of my screen. It's Shrum Moore talking on a talk show, and his quote is Bryce Underwood doesn't get rattled. Yeah. It's like, first and foremost, the completion percentage against the AP top 25 being 37% means you're rattled, because there's no shot that you're that bad against you're playing for one of the best college football teams in the country, and you're telling me you can't have that number be a little bit higher. Like, that tells me you're dog, and it doesn't matter who's in the top 25 that you played. That's just awful. Like, you can't beat a team like Arkansas without being dogs. Like, you barely beat Northwestern. It took a game-winning field goal to beat them. For Julian Saint, though, his completion percentage against the AP top 25, 70%.
Yeah.
70%. And he has a rate, and his QBR versus the AP top 25, 141.3.
I mean, he's really gotten better almost every game too.
And every game he gets better and better. I mean, like these numbers passing wise, completion percentage against Wisconsin, 86%. Against Penn State, 87%. Purdue, 82%. UCLA, 76%. Rutgers didn't even play the entire game. Barely played half the game. Still has 70% completion percentage.
Yeah.
I mean, nuts.
I would say the last 2 games have been probably his worst games so far.
But he didn't even play it, and because they're blowouts.
Yeah, I think they're all blowouts. I mean, this is like, when you look at the scores and stuff, like, this is how a team proves that they are really, really good. Mm-hmm. When they come in every single week and they blow the brakes off of every team. And now that they basically get to the final stretch of the year, like, now this is where you put it all together. Like, this is where you're going to see the best version of what Ohio State can be, because they have the ability to actually showcase it. And I think the funniest thing about this is it really doesn't matter if Ohio State wins or loses this game, because I'm pretty sure they're still going to have to play the Hoosiers in the Big Ten championship anyway. So it's like, it really doesn't matter who necessarily wins this game in terms of that, But that's the game that I really want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see number 1 versus number 2. Now
Yep.
I want Ohio State to go into the Big Ten, championship game undefeated, because I want both teams to go in undefeated so they can both duke it out. But I don't think people understand how good Ohio State is because of the level of competition that they've played, unfortunately. But they've played some good teams and they've beaten the breaks off them. Like, it's not like Washington is a bad team. Illinois is a top 20 team this year. Penn State was a good team prior to losing Drew Aller. UCLA was a good team at one point. So, like, I mean, I get it. Like, Wisconsin didn't play as well this year. Obviously, Purdue is what they are. Minnesota is what they are. But you also played Texas at the time, and they were the number 1 team in the nation. And you didn't even put a lot on Sands, back. And if you look at these, the scores and everything that he did over the past 2 or 3 games, like, you might want to look at the teams just rushing during those games. Like Ohio State's rushing it's been outrageous. It's been nuts. I mean, I think as a season, let me see. I would like to actually pull up the team itself, not just Julian here.
I can pull up the statistics. So, a total rushing, Ohio State has 1,800 total rushing yards, almost 1,900 total rushing yards.
Led by a freshman in Bo Jackson, by the way,
who has that 835 rushing yards this season. He's
Jeremiah
almost at
Smith
1,000.
is. Jeremiah Smith is 98 yards away from going 1,000. And by the way, he hasn't played the last 2 games, so he would have definitely hit that prior. I mean, Tate is at 700. Max Clare, over the last 2 or 3 games now, is really up to the ante finally, because he was the top tight end in the league last year. So for them to also add him as well, it's been really, really fun. So yeah, like, this team just has a lot of compliments. Like, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 guys that can rush the ball at any given time, and they are outstanding. I mean, obviously Bo is what he is. James Peoples has been great. Isaiah West has been nice over the last few games. And Donaldson, who was a guy that you brought in to kind of be running back 1, has had to take a back seat, but he's been a red zone freak. He has 10 touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah,
this team can just do it from a lot of different angles in a lot of different ways. So that team up north is going to have a lot on their plate. The only thing that they have going for them is the fact that they are in Ann Arbor. And it's the only thing that's going to actually truly benefit them. Because if they were in the shoe again, this wouldn't go the way that it did last year. And I just really hope that Ohio State is ready to really, really, really spoil this for that team up north, because they've given such a bad taste in my mouth that I don't know if I can stand losing to these guys ever again. I really can't.
Yeah, I can't either. And, we've listed all these numbers, and it just shows me, and even just watching Michigan play, Michigan just does not look good on the field. Like, I don't know what some of these people are seeing, but they just have not looked that good out there on the field at all. So I know for a lot of people, they're looking like, oh, Michigan could beat Ohio State once again, and it's not going to change until we talk about this again next year.
Yep.
But the thing is Michigan is not Ohio State. Ohio State dominated this rivalry for over a decade before Michigan won a game, then dominated again for another 8 or so years before Michigan won 4 in a row. And mind you, it took Michigan to cheat for 2 of those wins. they had to cheat to win for
Yeah.
2 of them.
At least one of them for sure.
Oh,
But
at least one of them for guaranteed, sure, yeah. But for the others, I mean, yeah, I could say Michigan really beat us for the other couple.
I mean, Ohio State gave them the win
Yeah.
last year. Like Ryan Day seems to play scared against them for some reason.
Yeah.
And he's got to stop with that. He's just got to go in and say, listen, we are the better team. Let's go out and let's go
Let's
freaking
beat
prove
the
it.
crap out of them, yeah.
Yeah. Just like what freaking Urban Meyer did. Like, anytime Urban went into that game, he didn't give a crap about who was ranked as what. He knew that team was going to go in and they were going to beat the brakes off of them every single year. And he would drop 60 points on them, 50-something points on them every single year because he just didn't care and because he could. That's the mentality that you have to have going up against that team up north.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think this is Ohio State's time. I think Ohio State will get it this year. We just look so complete, and our defense is the best it's ever been. And with Bryce Underwood struggling like he has all season, he's not going to be ready for what's coming. It's going to be sacks galore for guys like Sonny Styles. Like, that dude's going to eat. And Caleb Downs, I believe Caleb Downs will get a pick in this game too. So, I don't know, Zach. I'm looking at this like, I don't know. I have this and this might be bad, but I have this overwhelming calmness about this game and overwhelming confidence
that we haven't had over the last few seasons.
Yeah. Like, there's like the last couple of seasons, there's been like that nervousness. Like,
yeah,
it's like,
I'm
but for some reason,
I'm not nervous against these guys this year.
I just feel super confident for some reason. And I mean, I don't know if the spread helps because the spread's minus like 10.5 right now.
I mean,
but
I definitely think they're going to win by at least 2 scores.
Yeah.
That's I can see this. I mean, I don't want to give my predict just yet, but yeah, I mean, I can see at least 2 scores. So yeah, about 10.5 is probably a pretty good,
good number.
I would definitely hit that.
I might definitely hit that.
I mean, I don't really have any other things. So I guess we can just go ahead and give our
predicts.
Yeah. So we'll give our predicts on this, and then we'll get into the NFL predicts.
So, do you want to start? Or do you want me to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
So again, like as I said, I think it's going to be at least a 2-score game. I'm saying Ohio State 38, Michigan 17. Like I can actually, Michigan 14. I can see them scoring a couple times early, but again, I can see us really getting to them by the third quarter when Sands starts to get some deep balls going, the run game starts to flow. And again, this defense, they are going to make Underwood uncomfortable. They're going to get to him a lot. I just really think that they are going to smother him at some point, and I think it's going to come back to bite them in the ass so bad. And yeah, I'm going to say 38-14 Ohio State.
I'm going to go with 38-10.
Oh, yeah.
I think Ohio State. I think with how Ohio State's defense has been all year, not allowing more than pretty much double-digit points all season, I think the trend continues. I think, if anything, Michigan gets as far as 13 points.
Yeah.
That's as far as I think they go. So give me 38-10, 38-13. So I think it might just be a substantial, and it could be more of a blowout too than we think.
Yeah.
But
honestly, I hope so.
But
I got it.
I want it to be like 50 to 7 or something. That would really be the big one. And maybe Dave Portnoy would shut his mouth. But I'm ready for NFL predicts. Zach, are you ready for some NFL predicts?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me pull up the Week 13 schedule. So, for how it went for Week 12 for me and Zach, we both tied. We both won 11-3. Zach beat me on the Indianapolis Kansas City game, but I got him in return on the Atlanta New Orleans game. And we both got the Buffalo game wrong because for some reason Buffalo lost to Houston.
Yeah, but
That
that's a
sometimes it's
weird
just
game.
that was a weird game. But as the records go, that leaves me at 122-55-1 and Zach at 117-62. So that really helped me stay where we are. But Zach, let's get into these predicts here. And starting off with the fun games, the Thursday Thanksgiving games. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yes, yes.
We start off with the Fox NFL game of the day. It would be the Green Bay Packers at Detroit Lions.
This is going to be a unique one because both teams are kind of playing a little weird. Like both teams just aren't really playing the best. I do think that the Lions do end up pulling this out though because they did end up winning that game this week. If you guys had Jahmyr Gibbs on your squad, you're welcome because he had a ridiculous game last week. He had over 240 yards, rushing, 3 total touchdowns.
Yep.
It was absurd what he did. I just think the Lions just have a much better offense. Green Bay has been struggling even on defense. They haven't really been playing that well. I can see the Lions winning this game, especially at home.
Yeah, I went with Detroit too, just for the fact that they're at home and this is their thing, man. They're the Thanksgiving team. They always play on Thanksgiving, so I like you said, dude, I agree they have a better offense right now, and their defense is a little bit better too. And they've managed to pull off a nice comeback against the Giants. So that's an added boost for this game coming up, especially for a rivalry game. So I will take the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
And then one we haven't seen before, Kansas City makes it to Thanksgiving football for the first time in a very long time. Kansas City in Dallas.
This might be a crazy pick to some because Dallas is at home. I'm taking Dallas. They have been insane at home, especially on offense. They had a nice comeback win against the Eagles. Dak has been going insane, but dude, freaking George Pickens, man, he has looked better than CeeDee Lamb has. He is catching everything that they throw to him. And again, they're just playing well enough. Their defense has been getting better and better each week because they're getting healthier and healthier each week. And Kansas City, they barely squeaked by last week. I don't like them on the road. I think Dallas does it on Thanksgiving.
I agreed. I think Kansas City just has had a weird season this year, and I think people have finally understood Kansas City, and like you said, they barely squeaked out against Indianapolis. They're 500. They're basically a 500 team. I think they're just now a game above 500, but they're not. They're in the hunt for the playoffs. They're not even in the wild card race right now. They're hunting for the playoffs, so they're still out of it.
Right.
And it's kind of fun to see, but it just shows you that a lot of the guys like Travis Kelce's aging. I mean, it's just a team that has finally gotten figured out, and they are finally getting beat. So I can see the Cowboys, and again, the Cowboys are a Thanksgiving football team, and I believe that since they're at home, like you said, George Pickens has looked good. That defense is getting healthier and looking better. I kind of like Dallas in this game, and Dallas made a comeback too against the Eagles too. So like a big comeback, they're down 21-7 and won that football game. So Dallas can't be counted out in this. The last Thanksgiving Day football game of the day is an AFC North matchup, which we haven't seen in a long time either. Usually it's the Washington Commanders that play on Thanksgiving Day and someone else, but we have a AFC North battle between the Baltimore Ravens and Cincinnati Bengals in Baltimore.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Okay.
I think that Joe Shiesty comes out and he balls. Now, the Ravens are at home, but I know Lamar is still battling some other random toe injury now. Like he's just a little banged up, and it's not like they're winning by insane margins. Like they're not doing enough now.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals don't have T Higgins, but they will get Jamar Chase's back, and I think because of that, I think they force feed the hell out of him. Burrow has a pretty good game in his when his very first game back. I don't know. I just think that there's just something about him coming back on Thanksgiving. If there is an NFL script, it's going to be him going insane for this game. So, yeah, I'm going to go Bengals. Why not?
I went with the Ravens. They're at home. Plus, I don't know like you said, it's the health of Lamar Jackson that's a little concerning. But for me, it's also the health of Joe Burrow and how he's gonna play. This is a guy who might be coming back a little too early from an injury, but this is a guy who might be trying to salvage the season.
Yeah.
So it could be a storybook ending for Cincinnati, but I'm going to take the Bengals because I just think overall they're better, and I think they're going to fight for the North, and they're probably going to win the North. So I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens. And then we have a nice Friday midday game. Actually, the game's at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So we got a little treat here. Chicago Bears at the Philadelphia Eagles on Friday.
This is a weird one. I'm not super confident with the Eagles anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with them, but they just seem broken on offense. They can't get anything going. This could be a shootout, and I still am going to pick the Eagles just because they are at home. But it would not surprise me at all if the Bears end up doing it and winning this game. But I'm going to go Eagles just because they're home. That is the only reason that I get to pick them here.
That's the only reason why I picked them too, is that they're at home. And I mean, like you said, the offense for Philly hasn't been great, but you know what? I still have faith in guys like Saquon Barkley. I think AJ Brown has basically quit on the season. But I mean, the only reason why I could pick the Eagles is just because they're at home, and that's legit the only reason why anyone would probably pick them in this game.
Yeah.
Going to Sunday, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at Tennessee Titans.
Jacksonville should win this game, but I'm rooting for Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm gonna pick Jacksonville, but it'd be fun to see Tennessee win a football game.
Yeah, I know.
Up next, we have the 49ers at Cleveland.
Yeah. I'm going Cleveland. I believe in the Shedeur hype. I believe that this defense can get to Brock Purdy, especially after seeing him struggle against Carolina. I mean, I know Carolina's got a solid defense, but it's not like ours. This Browns defense is playing at a elite freaking level, and I can see Miles, even though he's got to go up against arguably one of the greatest tackles in the game. I can still see him getting a sack or two in this game, and yeah, I don't know, man. There's a funny feeling right now. It just feels like there's some sort of tide being turned, and I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we lose, but I got this weird feeling, man. I think the Browns are going to do it.
Yeah, I picked the Browns too, just because this game is going to remind me of what happened 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Where we played them in Cleveland at this time of the season, and Brock Purdy and the 49ers just struggled to get anything going. The Browns defense at that time was just as elite as it was this year, and they did everything they could. They held Christian McCaffrey to absolutely nothing. They got to Brock Purdy. They just did everything, and the only thing is just no Brandon Ayuk. Because Brandon Ayuk was the only one in that game doing anything for the 49ers, and you don't even have him this go around.
Yeah.
I'm also looking at the weather. It's going to be it says 42 degrees, but obviously it's going to be a lot colder with the wind because it's supposed to be super windy on Sunday. And it's also going to be a rain-snow mix. So that does not bode well for a team from the West Coast to come here at this time. And this game's literally just going to remind me of 2 seasons ago where PJ Walker beat the 49ers somehow, some way.
Right.
And I feel like you said, I feel confident in Shedeur to where he could do it. If not, you just rely on the run game and just let the run game do what they did against Miami.
Yep.
So I'm going to pick the Browns, man. I think it's going to be another repeat of 2 seasons ago. Houston at Indianapolis.
This is a weird one. I'm gonna go Indy because they're at home, but man, dude, Houston is playing some good ball for whatever reason. Like Davis Mills has been playing insane. Now they might get Stroud back this week. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm gonna go Indy. They're at home. It's not like they're a bad team or anything. They got to get back to running the ball though. Like they got to get back to giving Jonathan Taylor an insane amount of carries because that is the reason that they were winning games. They're getting away from it, and they got to stop. Go back to doing what you do best.
Yeah, I went with Indianapolis too for the fact that I do believe in this game they will give the ball to Jonathan Taylor a lot. I think they've learned their lesson. You have to get your star the ball, and they should have won against Kansas City. They should have, but just give Jonathan Taylor the ball and you're fine. I got Indianapolis just because of that reason, and they're at home. Atlanta Falcons at the New York Jets.
I'm gonna go Atlanta here, although
Yeah.
I think this game's gonna be weirdly close. The Jets are playing a little bit better with Tyrod, but I don't know, man. Atlanta just still has enough firepower to get them over the hump. But John freaking Mechie with the Jets the last 2 games, I think, has been playing some really good ball. So he's at least the bright side for them right now with how many just injuries they've had and how bad the season has been. He's been a bright spot. So it's nice to see that, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Atlanta's going to do that.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Falcons too, just for the fact that the Jets are just awful. And that's the only reason. It's just the Jets are awful. And I think Atlanta's just better. So I'm going to go with the Falcons. The Rams at the Carolina Panthers.
Dude, let me tell you something. I didn't think that this was going to come out of my mouth this year. I think the Rams might be the current Super Bowl favorite right now.
Yeah.
They are playing some great all-around ball. And Matthew Stafford is almost 40 years old, or he might be. I don't know how old he is, honestly. But he hasn't thrown a pick, I think, all season long. Or if he hasn't, it's been – I know he's got 24 touchdowns and 0 picks.
So I'm looking at it now. Matthew Stafford on the season has 30 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Like this dude hasn't thrown a pick since I think like week 2 or 3. Like it's been a long stretch. I know that. Between him having Devontae Adams and Puka, and even the tight end that they have now has been doing some work as well. They obviously have a good run game. The defense is playing well. Like the Rams all around are just a really, really, really good team. And I mean, you got to pick them here.
Yeah, I picked the Rams. The last time Stafford threw a pick was week 2 and week 3 was the last time he threw picks. Back-to-back game. Other than that, he has not thrown a pick since. He's also 37 years old.
Okay, so he's still, he's still got a little life left. He's not 40 yet.
Yeah, but I agree. I think the Rams might be the Super Bowl favorites this year because Matthew Stafford's just on another freaking level, dude. Like this dude's unbelievable.
Could you imagine if Aaron Donald decides to come back in the postseason?
Oh, dude, if he does,
dude,
that'd be hilarious.
I heard a rumor of that, and I was like, that's probably not true, but what if?
That would be
he just comes out fresh. It's like, I got this for 3 games. Shit.
You know what? I'd be happy to see it. I would
I
love
would
it.
too. It would make the postseason so much cooler.
Oh, absolutely. And there's a chance to get a second ring.
Exactly.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, give me the Rams. This is about to be a blowout game, probably.
Yeah.
The Saints at Miami, the Tank Bowl of the week.
Yeah, the take bowl of the week. I do think Miami's going to do it. Yeah, they're at home, so it's their only upside. And I know the Saints don't have Kamara right now. He's pretty much going to be done for majority of the rest of this year. So you'll get to see a little bit of Devin Neal, which is cool. But I don't think it's going to be enough. But I think Jalen Waddle is going to do some work, and Miami should win this game pretty easily.
We finally are opposite. I went with the Saints.
No.
Tyler Schaub has looked good the last couple of games he's played in. And I feel like he's going to carry some of that confidence into this game. Him and Chris Olave have looked better together than him and Spencer Rattler. So, I don't know. I have this overwhelming confidence in Tyler Schaub that he could go out and win this football game. He started for 250 plus in both games, so he's looked good. Cardinals at Bucks.
This is a weird one because I don't know what Baker's status is going to be. I know it's still kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
If Bake's out, Arizona should win this game. If Baker plays, it still actually might pick Arizona. I think I got to go Arizona here. I don't. Even if Baker is able to play, he's not going to be 100%, and he just hasn't had the help. Like everybody's hurt. When he doesn't have his guys, it's a different game. It's like being on the Browns in 2019 or 2020. So I don't know.
I went with the Cards too, just because again, it's just the uncertainty of Baker's status. And if he does play, we all seen what he did with the shoulder injury when he left Cleveland. It was just bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Jacoby Brissett might have himself a day too. So I'm going with Arizona. All right, we got Minnesota at Seattle.
Seattle. JJ McCarthy is an absolute trash can at quarterback. I was telling you guys, JJ McCarthy is not a quarterback in the NFL. He's not. He was a handoff merchant in college. He was just forced to hand the ball off a gajillion times and have them run the ball. JJ can't throw it. I feel bad for Jay Jetta, but Sam Darnold should have a little bit of a field day.
Yeah, Sam Darnold's going to have a field day, and Jay Jetta is going to be on that sideline like, damn, I wish he was still here with us.
Yeah.
I got Seattle. This should not even be a contest, really. Like you said, JJ McCarthy was a handoff merchant at Michigan, and this is why you never draft a Michigan quarterback, because when's the last time a Michigan quarterback has been good?
Tom Brady.
That's about it.
Right.
That's about it. Like, other than that, what other Michigan quarterback has been good? The answer is zero besides Tom Brady. So I think people need to learn their lesson that Michigan quarterbacks are not going to be the next Tom Brady because he's just once in a generation. But yeah, give me Seattle. This should just be no contest.
Yeah.
Also, a game that should be no contest: the Vegas Raiders at the Chargers.
Chargers. I believe they might actually be getting Hampton back this week too. And
I think so.
If that's the case, that's really going to help them a lot. They really need some help in the run game. He'll probably still be limited, but anything from Amari and Hampton is better than nothing. So I mean, the Chargers should be able to take care of business at home anyway.
Yeah, I went with the Chargers just because, like you said, they should be able to handle business at home, and there's a good quality chance that Amari and Hampton should be back. And if he is, that's going to be a big boost for them. So I will take the Chargers. Bills at Steelers.
I'm going Bills. As long as A-Rod isn't playing, this really shouldn't be much of an issue. Plus, I think again, I think Josh Allen is going to come out pissed off, and they're gonna take it all out on them. And they just signed Brandon Cooks today, underrated signing for them. That is going to help him so much in the deep ball. I can see the Bills winning this game by at least 10.
Yeah, I had the Bills too. As long as Mason Rudolph plays, I don't think the Steelers have a shot. I would prefer the Bills. And like I said, as long as Aaron Rodgers is out, the Steelers team is dog water.
Yeah.
And I think they're finally starting to come down to earth. So, I mean, it's finally that time where this team finally realizes what they are, and it's not a good team. Yeah. Denver at Washington.
Denver. Really not much else to say about that one.
Yeah, we're just gonna say Denver. Just move on to the final game that we have. Which this one we could. This will actually be a little bit better. This will be a fun one. The Giants at Patriots.
The Pats are going to win, but Jameis or Dart is going to make it fun.
Yeah.
It's like the game last week it was just insane. Again, I think that was the Detroit game. Yeah, he made it fun. I mean, it's Winston. That's the effect that you get with him. I mean, we know it all too well from last year. That was a very typical Jameis experience for New York, but the Pats should do it. They're a pretty just solid team. You really can't complain about what they are right now.
Yeah, I went with the Patriots just because they're overall the better team. And again, we don't know what we're going to get if it's Jackson Dart or Jameis Winston. But either way, it'll be a fun game to watch and to witness. And Jameis had a good game against Detroit, but it just wasn't enough. So there is our Week 13 predictions. As always, it should be a good week. We got Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving football is always the best. It's the best time for fantasy football. It's the best time to play some bets. So with that, you guys should check out our sponsor, Effortless Wins, for sports betting advice and plays to boost your wins. Talk to Tony or Greg. Links will be in the description of Spotify or in the comment section on YouTube. Thanksgiving is here in 2 days. We're recording this on Tuesday. In 2 days is Thanksgiving. The best time to play some bets because you have 3 NFL games. And hey, these 3 NFL games could get you some Black Friday money for some good old-fashioned Christmas shopping. Or if you want to buy yourself something, hey, now's the chance. We got a heap of games this week, Thursday and Friday. Talk to Tony and Greg. Get your money up because this week is about to be a fun one.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, guys, go ahead and talk to the boys. And also, before we get off, shout out to my now fiance. I just got engaged this weekend, so it was a lot of fun. I do want to make sure that I give her a shout out because I love her, and I'm really excited for that. So, I just wanted to make that note. And, guys, we'll see y'all next week, hopefully with a Buckeyes W under the belt and get back under the BS that we've been dealing with for the last 4 years against that team up north, and hopefully another win from our boy Shedeur. We'll see you next week.